Today we are going to talk about some tips about getting around London as far as transportation costs, kind of a follow-up to my video yesterday. I've got a really fun story for you that goes to show two things. Sometimes children are smarter than their parents, and also don't air your family's dirty laundry on Reddit. And we're going to also be talking about move-over offers because I am hearing about more and more move-over offers as well as a missed port on the Caribbean Princess. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Friday, it is June 7th of 2024, and today is the day before Cruise Day. Tomorrow morning we're going to be bright and early heading over to the Heathrow baggage claim area to catch the Princess transfer. So this evening I'm going to be telling you about some news, some things that I think it's important that you know about, and then tomorrow we're going to give you our first vlog that will show our day in London yesterday once we dropped off our luggage and everything and got into the city, as well as everything that we did today. So please make sure that you look for that video. So what I wanted to follow up with from my video yesterday is in regards to transportation to get around London, as well as if you are staying in a hotel outside of London at all, some things that might be helpful to know. First of all, thank you all for the wonderful comments that you made under my video yesterday. I really appreciate that because believe it or not, people will read through the comments and really soon after I put a video out. But even a couple of months down the road or even a year, people come and watch a video and then read through the comments. And I know this because they tell me this, and they find really helpful information. When you think about how you're going to travel around the city, where you're going to decide to stay when you come and visit London or any other city for that matter, it really can depend a lot on your budget, on what kind of experience you like the most, how you want to travel around. And so it's really important that we all share these different options and then everyone can navigate maybe what will work best for them. And let me tell you that what works best for you can change over time, change based on who you're traveling with, the goals of that trip. So it's really good to know what all the options are. So yesterday I shared with you our experience yesterday. So make sure you take a look at that video because you're not going to want to miss it. But today we ended up using Uber. We took Uber from our hotel here at the Heathrow Airport, the Hilton Garden Inn. It's called Hilton Garden Inn, London Heathrow Terminal 2 and 3. We took the Uber and it was so simple. It was much less expensive than taking a taxi, and with how much we paid to take the Uber into the city and back out here to the hotel again this evening, we didn't spend any more than we would have spent round trip with the Heathrow Express, and we got right to where we wanted to go. So taking that Uber, like I said, it was about a third as much as a taxi was. And let me tell you how to do it here at this airport, when at this hotel. So we're here just adjacent to part of Terminal 2. So you go back over, you cross through that parking structure. It's not a long walk, and go back to the elevators. As you come around and look at those elevators, the bank of elevators on your right does not have the ability to stop at level 4. So you go to the elevators as you're facing them on the left-hand side and go to level 4. Level 4, you come out, you enter that parking garage area there. It is really close and it is marked Uber pickup area. That is also where you're going to go if you have hired a private car or if you're having another kind of car service pick you up. They said mini cab pickup, and that was also a scheduled pickup service. I saw people waiting for their car, their mini cab, and then they came and picked them up and took them. So once we were there, the Uber came within about 4 minutes, and it was really slick. It worked really, really conveniently, and he took us right down. We were going to the Churchill War Rooms first, and he took us right down. They have to drop you off kind of a block away so that you can walk through the government buildings there and then end up at the Churchill War Rooms. it worked just perfectly. So that is really something important to keep on your radar. Then when we wanted to go somewhere else, we took an Uber, and so on until it was time to come home again. It worked out really nicely. Even traveling between locations in London, it's cheaper to take an Uber than it is to take a taxi. So just putting that on your radar. Now, I know that there are buses. There is the Tube, which is the subway here in London. We've got trains to go places. Today we chose Uber, so I thought I would let you know about that. I have been here on other trips where I didn't use a taxi, even before Uber was a thing. So there are lots of ways to travel, and I wanted to let you know that if you want the luxury and the convenience of taking a car like that, just to put it on your radar. And every time we wanted to go somewhere today, it didn't take very long for an Uber to come and pick us up. And then when we were ready to come home, and it was kind of latish this evening, we had the best dinner. We ended up, it took like 1 minute. 1 minute was our whole wait for an Uber to come and bring us back to the hotel. I've also got the quick update for you that the Caribbean Princess that was hoping to call at the port of Reykjavik, Iceland, is not able to make that port stop after all due to weather. Apparently they have got some strong winds and enough weather that they're not able to make that port stop. So I'm really sorry for all of you who were hoping to get to go to Reykjavik, Iceland on this cruise. I know that it's really hard to book cruises to such remote regions. You go hoping that they'll be able to make all those port calls, but in the end, sometimes they can't. So I'm really sorry. I hope you get to go another time and that you get to enjoy the rest of your trip. I think it's more important to enjoy the rest of your trip because you never know if you're going to have the chance to go again. So we're thinking about you and hope the rest of your trip goes smoothly. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is really an interesting story to me. You know, in the introduction, I said that sometimes children are smarter than their parents and not to air your dirty laundry on social media. Well, apparently People magazine picked up a story off of a thread on Reddit. Well, People magazine came across the story of this child who has grown up, just graduated from high school. It says in December, and they were going on a family trip. They asked if instead of going to the all-inclusive that their parents usually take the family to, wanted to know if they could go on a cruise since they just graduated from high school. So off they go, and they're on a Caribbean island, and the child now, who is, you know, an adult, says to the parents, it's time to go back to the ship. And the parents were still busy shopping on the Caribbean island. It didn't say which one, and kind of waves the child off till the point that the child just goes ahead and goes back to the ship. And the parents missed the ship by like 45 minutes. And so they had to fly to the next port. The interesting thing to me about it is the child said, you know, the parents were really upset. They got a hold of, it doesn't say if it's a him or a her, on WhatsApp and kind of bawled them out for not making the ship wait for them. And I thought it was just really interesting. You know, we hear of people missing the ship, and I'm always amazed that when those things happen, people have to share it with everyone. So why am I sharing it with you here today? To remind you to keep an eye on your watch, that even if you're having a great time, don't forget to be back to the ship, because they're not going to wait for you. And I really think that if that young adult had gone down and said, you know what, my parents are shopping on the island, can you please wait? I don't think that they would have waited, because they were way past the time that you had to be back for the all aboard. So just a really interesting story to me, that sometimes children seem to know a little bit more than their parents on a few things. So let me know if you happen to be on that ship or know anything else about that. It's really a crazy situation there. And then everybody finds out about it on social media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button? We'd love to have you with us, and I think you'll have a fun time. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? Thank you so very much. I think it's time to talk about move over offers again, because I am receiving so many emails from people right now letting me know that they are receiving move over offers. So if you are not familiar with what a move over offer is, it occurs when you are booked on a cruise and the cruise line contacts you and gives you a really sweet offer to move to another sailing. It happens in a couple of instances. One of the reasons the cruise line could be making this offer to you is because they've oversold the cruise that you are going to be on. They were hoping enough people would cancel they've kind of got this programmed in their computers, like how much to oversell a cruise, because, you know, a certain percent of people will generally cancel. Well, as it gets closer and closer to the cruise, that many people haven't canceled, and so they have to start trying to invite people to take a different cruise so that they can accommodate everyone. And then the other instance can be when there is more demand for a certain kind of cabin. So you might have the kind of cabin that they can easily sell, theoretically even for more than you paid for it. And so they'll give you an offer so that it frees up your cabin so they can sell it again. So those are some of the reasons that you could get a move over offer. Generally, when you receive a move over offer, they will give you your money back that you paid for that cruise as onboard credit. And you get that onboard credit when you rebook to another cruise. Generally, they'll give you a window of time, like 2 years, to rebook another cruise, and you get that cruise that you're going to rebook. It's about, you know, it has to be similar to the one that you are moving over from, but you get 2 years to do that. You get it for free. And then once you are on that cruise, that onboard credit, that is how much you'd paid for that cruise, comes back to you as refundable onboard credit. And if you don't spend it, they just mail you a check for it at the end of that cruise. So I get several requests from people asking me, should I take this move over offer or not? And so here are some things that I think are really important for you to think about when you are trying to decide if you should accept a move over offer. Now, the first one I think that is the most important is to really consider if you can book a similar cruise, if you've got time in your schedule, that you can do that really soon. So if you are being asked, offered a move over offer for something that is coming up soon, can you do a similar cruise? Do you have time in your schedule? And is there availability to go ahead and do another cruise like that this summer? Because hopefully you'll know if you've got time in your schedule to do that, and if you can just do that. Because sometimes when we put things off, we never get the chance to do them again. And I think that's a really important factor. So if you can do that pretty soon now and it will work out just fine, I think it's a nice way to get a free cruise. Now, if you can't, I would go on the cruise now. Another important thing to think about is really think about what the difference it'll make to you with getting to have that money back. If you have to save up, and it'll really help your budget in order to get that free cruise, book that, and then you won't spend your onboard credit, you'll get that money back, and it will help you out a lot. I think that's a really good consideration. And once again, I would book that cruise sooner than later to go again, because you don't want your money sitting there in someone else's hands. You want to get it back and you want to go have a fun time. So I think that's a really important consideration as well. And then the last thing I want you to think about is that as you do that, make sure that you can find another cruise that is like the one that you are giving up for that move over offer. Because sometimes we get move over offers on cruises that run again and again and again and again. Sometimes we get move over offers on cruises that are kind of a one-off. There are cruises that Princess, for example, runs like one time a year at the most, or just a couple of times. And so make sure that if you're on one of those kind of cruises, make sure you know when that cruise is going to go again, because you don't want to give something up and then not be able to do it again because it doesn't show up as an offered itinerary. Just some things to think about. So let me know in the comments, or send me an email, but in the comments is even better so everyone else can know. Let me know if you're receiving move over offers, what they look like. Another thing that Princess will usually give is they'll usually give you like $500, reimburse $500 per person in travel expenses if you have already started to travel for that cruise. And if you had booked your flights with Easier, they protect that so that you will just get Easier flights the next time you go, or give your money back for that. You don't lose your Easier flight money. And so, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever accepted a move over offer, how it worked out for you, or if you've gotten a move over offer and not accepted it. Did you have a great time on your cruise? We had that happen to us going to the Mediterranean in 2019. We didn't accept the offer, and I'm really glad that we didn't, because we had the very best time, and I can't go back in time, and I'm really glad that we went ahead and went. So I look forward to hearing from all of you, and thanks again for all of the experiences that you share in the comments. We really appreciate hearing from all of you, and I know everyone learns from each other, so thanks again. I'll look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.